Sup, bitches?
Hello, hello.
Welcome back to the Sassy Spiritual Bitches podcast.
Well, when you always sing our intro.
I know, I can't help it.
Every once in a while, I'm like, should I say sup, bitches? And then I'm like, nah, Randy's going to sing it in. Let's let her do it.
You can do sup, bitches. I don't mind sometimes.
Yeah, I did it one time. One and done, as I always say.
It's one and done. Oh my God.
You ever seen Zombieland? That's totally...
No, but that's been on my list of ones to watch for like ever, and then...
I feel like all my favorite movies, nobody else seems to enjoy for any reason. So no, like, I'm like, great, let's watch this movie together. And he's like asleep in like 5 minutes. So Zombieland is one of those ones. I'm like, I fucking love this movie.
Nice.
But I think a lot of people do, but I really love that movie.
Yeah. Is that the one with Woody Harrelson?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's on my list. Wasn't there a sequel?
There was, and it was pretty good too. It wasn't too bad.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen either. I'm so behind.
Just love dumb movies like that. Dumb humor is just where it's at.
Oh, me too. Well, but I mean, so like one of my favorite movies of all time is Clue. And my other all-time favorite movie is The Private Eyes. Nobody's ever fucking heard of this one. It's got Don Knotts and Tim Conway in it. Oh, it's like from the 80s. And it's the funniest fucking movie. And it is. It's just stupid like that. Mm-hmm. And they're like investigators. And the killer leaves them poems all the time.
Oh, cool.
And the last one, like the last line, you can tell what it's supposed to be to rhyme, but it doesn't. So it'll be like, for instance, it's like it's supposed to be a ghost writing this, right? It's like, I'm out on the plains and roaming the moors. Be sure to lock all your windows and screens.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Like, they're just ridiculous. Oh my God, it's so funny. But
yeah, that is funny.
It's been my favorite since I was a kid.
Oh my God, I've never seen that, but it feels like something I would enjoy.
I have it on DVD. We'll have to watch it.
Yes, let's watch it.
Like, that and Clue, Lisa and I know all the words too.
Really? Oh my God, that's awesome.
Like, Lisa and I, when I didn't live here, I would mail her poems and made sure that the last line didn't.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's good times.
Yeah, I don't think I have every word memorized from Zombieland by any means, but...
But you also haven't been watching it since the 80s.
No. It's a new-ish movie. Newer compared to the 80s.
You weren't even born in the 80s.
No.
You're a 90s girl.
I rolled in 1990.
I was thinking about that the other night. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I thought that's when you were born.
Yep.
Yeah.
1 year too late for the 80s.
You're missing out, man.
I know.
The 80s was a good decade.
I feel like it was, yeah. I feel like the 90s were just awkward and weird.
No way, man. The 90s was the best time to be a teenager.
Well, unfortunately, I was 0 to 10, but it would have been a good time to be a teenager.
It was awesome. Yeah. 1996 was an excellent year.
I feel like I liked that year too, but I don't know why.
Well, you were 6.
Yeah,
Everything was great.
Everything was fucking awesome when I was 6, yeah.
1996. I just remember it being a really good year for music. But like 90s music, you know.
I was probably involved in that scene. Mm-hmm. I was obsessed with music even from
Spice Girls, I believe, came out that year. So
I was definitely involved in 1996 music then.
I'm such a scary Spice.
Oh man, well, I would only say I'd have to be Ginger Spice because I have red hair, and that's
pretty sure that's who I would pick for you, whether you had red hair or not.
Yes, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it would line up all the ways, but yes, definitely.
Yes.
Fucking sassy, red hair, takes no shit, a little bit slutty maybe.
Oh my God. Hopefully not when you were 6.
No, 6, that was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I love it.
Yeah. That was good times. Music was good. That was the one thing I was always involved in because, like, that was before internet. You had to just listen to the radio, right?
Oh, and you had to make your own mixtape, and you had to make you always missed, like, the first, 2 seconds of a song because it's like, oh, record.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. Mm-hmm. I was obsessed with music as a kid, and I still am.
It's so funny. Oh, my God, the listening to the radio and the...
Recording with your little,
tape
box.
Yeah. You had to press the 2 buttons down, the play and the record.
Yeah, I remember just sitting in my room with my radio on, like waiting for the songs you wanted.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just sit there and you were like, I'm ready when it comes on.
Yep. And then we used to have a request hour here, and it was like, I'm going to request my song, and they better fucking play
so
it.
True.
And then it was like,
wow, how times have changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And I feel like it's for better and for worse. Like, it's awesome that you can access your music all the time, but I am an avid music connoisseur. I love music, but sometimes it's like the options out there are overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before, I used to buy an album and I would sit in my room and listen to every single song. I would read the lyrics in the little disc case.
Yes!
I would memorize them. I'd learn them. And now it's like, it's not even like I love this band. It's like, I love this song.
Mm-hmm.
I find. And you kind of like don't get involved in the overall like theme of the band or of the musician. It's just like, I like this song. And it just seems like less personal. But very grateful for the access to music because I've found some good shit that I'd never find anywhere else.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what I miss?
What?
I miss movie stores.
It was such a vibe.
Like, and then like you had to, if you were going to rent a movie on Friday night, man, especially the new releases came out on Friday. So you had to be there fucking early and make sure you got it. And like, or that was just your outing, going out with your friends to like cruise the movie store and to see so what do I want to rent.
Man, and you could get all your snacks there, and you'd like this
pay
is
out
like,
the nose for them, just like at a theater, but still, that's when you bought it.
And you like, I mean, I was pretty young at the time, so it wasn't like you were picking up babes at the movie store or anything, but like it's crazy that that's how you'd connect with people. You'd just like, oh, everyone's watching movies. You'd see your friends from school, like, oh, you're watching that movie. Or like talk about it on Monday.
Yeah,
like,
or you saw your teacher and like, whoa, did you see what she was renting? You know, and it's just like,
totally.
Oh my God, I didn't know she was cool.
So true. Or do you remember like going to the actual movies before cell phones and you'd be like, let's meet by the air hockey machine at 8:05, and you'd like get there and just your parents would just drop you off and you were like, I don't know, like 10.
And you had like quarters just in case you had to use the payphone. And do those even exist anymore? I don't think so.
Yeah, and then you'd like loiter around by the air hockey machine and be like, fuck, I hope my friend shows up. This is awkward.
And if they're late, then it's like, oh my God, are they coming?
Is it the right date?
Do I have to call my mom? Like...
Fuck the good old days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can't help but be like nostalgic. You're like, man, simpler times.
Right?
Simpler times.
I remember when the cheap movies were $3.50 and they got rated, because we used to always do double features on Tuesday nights because it was cheap night.
Mm-hmm.
And then they raised it to $3.99. Fucking highway robbery.
How fucking dare they?
We lost our minds. We were so mad for like that extra 49 cents. Like, how dare they?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love like evolution and progress. And like, I don't want to be one of those old people that's like, the kids these days don't understand.
I've literally caught myself saying that.
On my way here, I did that. There were these 2 boys ordering food at Safeway, and I was just trying to pick up a snack. Like, I was like, I want a samosa. Like, I'm going to eat this. And they were just, like, all over the place. You know, kids are real, like, oh, like, impulsive and, like, stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them, and I was like, can you guys just not figure out how to order and then grab a drink and, like, go get in line? I was like, these fucking kids today. Seriously. And then I, like, was like, these fucking losers. And I was like, this is why I don't have children, because I literally look at them and I'm like, you guys are idiots. But I actually like little kids, but as soon as you get into that like arrogant like preteen phase, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm opposite. That's when they're my jam. Because I know how to, well, maybe it's because I taught dance for so long and those were my kids. Right. So, and like we would have troubled kids that, you know, would with the group homes and they would pay for them to come to class. So like I got a soft spot. Like those are my kids, man. Like they're my peeps. So
I like little kids.
Little kids. I mean, I'm uncomfortable around
I'm the other way. Around like preteens, I'm like, I don't know what to do about you. Like, what do you guys talk about? Like,
oh no, I dish it out and I'm like, you can't take it? What you gonna do? You can't do that with a kid. You can't do that with like a little 5-year-old. You can't talk to them and be like, oh yeah? well, it sucks to be you, child. Here's what you have to look forward to. Like, you can't do that, you know?
So true.
Again, we're opposites. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. We're definitely, and it's like, I know I should have noticed it earlier, but I only recognized as of late that we are just like very different and we give like totally different perspectives. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess that's how it works.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh my God. Meanwhile, we're 10 minutes into this and have not talked about a single relevant topic.
No.
It's fine. Hey, you guys want some ASMR?
Ooh.
That's my ice. It's ice water. Ooh.
Yeah.
I do like the sound of that, though.
Yeah, me too. Or people walking on rocks crunching.
Oh, yeah.
I love that sound.
Like that gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good sound.
Or like slow driving cars when it's rolling over the gravel.
Oh, yes.
Just like, oh, yeah, give me that.
Yeah, totally. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
and
what the fuck are we even talking about?
I don't know.
Like, I love it. I love when this happens.
Me too. We'll get to a point eventually.
Oh, yeah.
The channeling will kick in and we'll get somewhere. But
just gotta warm up the channel, I guess, for now.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Zombieland, music, kids, gravel sounds.
ASMR, whatever. It's fine. We're not wasting, 15 minutes of your life or anything.
It's like you guys are here with us. It's like
totally
conversations with friends, right?
Yes, exactly. Actually, that's one of, I think, the biggest feedback that we get back.
Yeah.
Is, hey, I was listening to your podcast. It feels like I'm there.
I was talking to my friend Larissa. So Larissa, what's up? And I was like, man, I miss you. Like, where have you been? I've been talking to you. Like, we used to just like back and forth all the time. And then, I don't know, just like split kind of thing because we got busy. And I was like, I miss you. She's like, oh, well, I'd like to say the same about you, but I feel like I hang out with you every week.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And I was like, I guess so.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. So what are we going to talk about today?
Well, I know. So, okay, kids, we're recording this the day after a huge motherfucking storm rolled through here. And I mean, I love thunderstorms. Like, I love them.
Too.
They are my jam. But there has been 3 times in my life where I'm like, uh-oh, when a storm rolls in. There was, about probably close to 10 years now, we had a plow wind run through. And that night I felt it when my husband and I were in Mexico and there was a freak hurricane. One night was the other.
Oh, shit.
And the third was yesterday.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I went outside and it didn't even look like it was really going to storm. Like, it just looked kind of cloudy. And I remember I went out and I looked at the clouds and I'm like, nope. I don't think this is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to get my dogs outside. I'm like, go pee, like it might rain, not storm clouds, maybe rain clouds, but I'm like, there's something up here. You got to go. And they wouldn't go outside. And I'm like, they always go outside.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, and then 5 minutes later, the thunder started rolling and I saw lightning and I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. And then I started filming outside for whatever reason. I don't know. But like I saw it change. Like, I caught it on video from when it went to like from thunderstorm to like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
This ain't normal. Like, It was insane. And I knew it too. Like, I felt it before it even came in.
Wow, crazy.
And I don't get scared for storms, but I was kind of scared.
Yeah, I don't remember being scared, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. Like, I was like sulking in my basement and I was like, I love this storm. And then I got up and like looked and I was like, holy shit. My power went out and I was like, good Lord. And we don't have any trees in our yard, but our neighbors all have trees. I wish we had trees in our yard, but I don't. And I don't know, nothing happened in my yard, but like there was a huge spruce tree that went down like the block ahead. But you know what? That was that fucking person's karma, because I watched them chop down a different spruce tree and I just like cried and cried. And then now the other tree came down on their house and I'm like, that's for killing its friend. It sacrificed its life because you took the other one.
Oh my God.
So I was like, but I didn't actually hit their house. It hit their gazebo. So I was like, it's not that bad. But anyway, that other tree went down because it just missed its buddy. I don't know.
Oh, it's been like, and there's so many down down here where I live. I didn't realize how bad. Like, I knew it was bad, but like you drive around and it's like, holy shit, it's bad down here.
I live on the hill, but ironically, the little like place that my house is built used to be like a swamp. So it pools water, like, you know, where Safeway is and like in Arthur Peachy School or whatever. Yeah. So like notoriously that area floods. Luckily, we have like a sub pump or whatever the fuck it is. So it pumps the water out, but lots of people around me flooded in their basement.
I went and checked.
Thank God.
We got nothing.
I may have left a window open, so there was a little bit of water anyway.
Oh, well, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay.
We, the worst that happened was some of our lights, like our string lights on the patio, 3 broke.
Oh, the wind just decided to sass behind us.
It's like, whoa, hello.
Ooh, right.
No,
and it's
talking about me.
Yeah. And it's not storming today, but it's just kind of like, it's still pretty gloomy and windy.
I don't know, okay, so I don't know. Maybe you don't feel it. Maybe it's just me, but it feels chaotic out there. Yes. Like that storm, I don't know what the fuck it brought in, but it was like, I was off all day yesterday. And today I'm on edge.
I am on edge, but I am just like riddled with anger. So this podcast on Kayla's side of the spectrum is probably going to be a little bit sassy. And I am just like livid about nothing. Like, I'm just fucking mad. Like, I don't know why. And I'm thinking like this was actually Randy and I's general theory. So this is also pre-solstice. Mm-hmm. So there's this little gap between the summer solstice. And the solstice was a portal day. It was a day where we could jump timelines, shift into new energies. But if you're going to raise your vibration, shift, do all the stuff, you can't take your backpack of shit with you. As you've heard us talk about many
times. Backpack of crap.
Yes.
Say it with me.
So I am feeling kind of like the storm rolled in. Here specifically, we live in a very low vibrational city.
Very.
Very low vibration. We sometimes get rated number 1, number 2, top 5 in crime in Canada per capita. So it's a very, very low vibrational town.
Very.
And I'm kind of feeling like that storm came in to try to clear out some of the shit, but people are going to have to do it themselves. The storm will come in, stir it up, give you a chance to face it, and hopefully the solstice we can let go. But I'm just dealing with anger, which is my classic textbook thing. I know that's the thing that I just like, that's the mask that I wear when I'm trying to deal with shit is like anger. So I was like, fuck. So I'm angry.
Are you angry or are you like have deep-seated hurts that are coming up that you don't want to deal with? So
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say it's deep-seated hurts, but like to like show that I'm strong and I'm not actually hurt. It comes out as anger. Mm-hmm. And I am well aware of that.
Well, that's good. Are you well aware of that, friends? Are you wearing an anger mask?
I swear to fuck, there's only, I can't remember, did I say this on the last podcast or just to you personally? But I swear to God, the more I learn about people's healing and shadows, there's like one thing everyone's healing from, and it's people don't love me.
That's a big one.
I swear to God. And then it's just like, you're just like, no, it doesn't matter. I'm invincible. And that's me. I'm invincible. I'm bulletproof. Try to hurt me. And then I'm just like really angry and like, it doesn't work out. I've come a long way, but it used to be, oh God, it used to be so bad.
Yeah. But here's the thing. There it is again. That's like my catchphrase. I swear to God, at each podcast, I'm like, but here's the thing. It's how you perceive.
I was going to say.
Because what we perceive and what's actually true to the rest of the world is usually not, what's the right word? Together.
Yes. It's not the same, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I was like, I look back when I said, oh, it was so bad before. It actually wasn't so bad before. I was just conditioned to believe it was bad because that response was not welcome in my family and friend circle. I was too much. So to me, I look back and I'm like, oh, it was so bad. And it's like, no, the things I was mad about were pretty valid. Like, you're allowed to be angry. God, like.
And so that ties into kind of what we're going to discuss today. obviously in very roundabout ways, because that's how we do things and we go on tangents and we don't ever talk direct. But we're going to discuss, 20 minutes in, finally getting to the point here, we're going to discuss the importance of honoring your feelings. Dun, dun, dun.
And like not associating them with bad or good.
Yeah, there is no bad and good.
Which is my issue. It's just like I associate these are good, happy feelings and these are like good, bad feelings. And I'm not saying that I try to stuff, okay, let's be honest, I try to stuff some of them down. But like, it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm mad, but that's bad. Oh, I'm upset today. Why? I shouldn't be upset. And I try to like solve all these problems versus just like feeling them because I have put them in these categories of good or bad. And I'm always like rejecting the bad ones. And like, I know we always talk about integrating the shadow, but has anyone ever stopped to think about what that really means? Like, I thought integration was like learning and studying and understanding, and then you just naturally integrate it. And only as of late, because Randy channeled my spirit guides for me, was I like, oh, I'm not supposed to hate those feelings in me. I'm supposed to just be like, no. Like, not in an ego way, but like, no, I can be like that. And it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's like, I know, but when you don't actually think about it, you don't know.
You know, but you don't.
Exactly. You can say it and you can understand, but you can't integrate it. You can't make it real in your body and in your life. You're just like, for me, I was just reading it. And I was like, I understand what's written out for me. I wasn't like inside, like, oh.
You weren't embodying it.
I was like, oh, I understand now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my light bulb moment this week. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's so funny. I'll work with my clients and you can tell, like, we'll discuss things and logically we understand, you know, like, it's like, and I know this is because of this and this, that, and the other thing, but then I get to see it drop in. That's why I call it like dropping in. All of a sudden, like their body changes and their eyes kind of glaze over. And it's like, you can tell the minute like their heart kind of goes, oh, and it's like that, almost like heaving a sigh of relief. It's like their body like relaxes in this way. That's not like, oh, I'm relaxed now. It's more like, oh, damn.
And we just kind of like release some
and it's almost like a deer in headlights kind of look.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's the aha, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, everybody does it. It's weird, like all in their own way. But it's all of a sudden, like you can tell when you had a breakthrough. Because it's like, did you do? Oh. And there goes the body.
Yeah.
It's so cool to watch.
And you can watch, like, this is how it feels to me. I'm integrating a piece of information for real. It's definitely like a deer in headlights moment. And then I feel like my brain scrambles. It's like it has to reshift every fucking thing it ever believed to be true and try to like look at the world in a new framework. And you're like, whoa.
It's kind of like a little Rubik's Cube. Oh, yes, one side is all together now. Now we got to work on the other four or the other three.
Exactly how it feels.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
The Rubik's Cube of your mind.
Oh, my God. So that's what I'm dealing with. And if you were to be like, oh, I wonder what Kayla's so mad about right now. I have no fucking idea.
But you know what? You're not even that bad.
No. I haven't like snapped, except for my poor dog. God, I yelled at her and she just like cried, but she was being a little bitch. Let's be honest. She's been sick and like really sick. Like we didn't know what was going to happen. Sick. So she's been on like the princess diet and the princess treatment, right? But she's better now. She's been getting chicken and rice. She hasn't had to do anything she doesn't want to. It's been really hot here. Yeah, prior to the storm. So she's been inside a lot. And so I was trying to put her outside because I was trying to clean and she's in my way. And she was just like, I don't have to listen to you. I was like, oh, man.
Oh, MJ.
This is not the challenge I need when I'm angry. And I just like yelled at her. I was like, get the fuck outside. And she like let out a little yelp. She's really dramatic. Just like me. Sounds like we're murdering her when we're really just telling her to go outside. She's like, woo. And I'm like, okay. Don't cry to the neighbors, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, so she got the brunt of it. No one else really did, but yeah. Not angry, just tension. Lots of tension in my body. Mm-hmm. Lots of like opportunities for a fuse to go off. So far it's been okay, but
It happens. It happens. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And that's what we have to remember most, I think, anyway. Yeah, I've just been so, I don't even know what the right word is. Well, frustrated for one. And like, I just, not confused. That's not right either. But like, out of it. And I'm trying to allow myself to feel what I'm feeling, because, you know, if there's one thing I've learned through the whole, you know, coaching life, is that you have to feel it. You got to feel it to heal it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm feeling it. The fuck am I feeling? Like, I don't.
There's no word to describe this emotion.
Well, Keith would say to me, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And I'm sitting there, and then you do the whole, okay, I'm going to figure it out. Like, I'm going to listen to myself. And meanwhile, my higher self is like, bitch, I don't know what's wrong with you. You know? And I'm just like, what am I feeling? Because I'm distracted. You know? But like, not like things are distracting me. It's just like, I feel like there's two hands on my mind, and it's just like almost like slowly stretching it. So that like there's like thoughts are there, but they never quite form because they're too busy getting pulled. Like, are we gonna come to an end here? Like, I just
that's funny.
It's chaotic. It's just chaotic.
It is chaotic.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I get frustrated because I'm like, why can't I figure this out? And then I get frustrated with myself. And then I'm like, but I recognize frustration. So let's just focus on this
one. Yeah.
You know, which doesn't really help, but it's just, I need to ground maybe.
Yeah.
But then if I think about, okay, so let's evaluate these couple of weeks here. So we had a new moon with a solar eclipse the same fucking day.
Mm-hmm.
Then bookmarking that up, what is it, Wednesday or Thursday? So it might even be the day this comes out. I can't remember when the full moon is. So we're going to have a full moon. And and the new moon was a super moon of some sort.
Yeah.
We have Mercury retrograde in there, several other planets. I think Jupiter is going retrograde or some shit. I don't know. Then we had this major fucking storm, and we have the solstice.
You're like, so, shit's wild out there.
Like, the energy is fucking nuts, at least here. And I think that's, like, if I were to, like, actually, like, listen to myself and be like, okay, it's not me. This is just me being very sensitive to the energy that's happening out there. I've been going to bed at 7.
Wow.
And 7:30 because I can't by then. I'm so drained.
Right.
And like last night I fell asleep, I think, at 7:30. But then I woke up at 9:30 and I couldn't sleep. I was tossing and turning. Like, it's like my body is uncomfortable. It's like I have little, I don't know, pins and needles in my body. And like I have weird hurts, like weird, like stiffness and soreness. But it's like, I know that's not, like, it's my body, obviously, but it's not body issues.
Right.
If that makes sense.
And you know what's funny you say that, because my guides have been telling me since December, so since the Grand Conjunction and the winter solstice?
Yes.
Yeah, winter solstice. That the summer solstice was going to be a big upgrade time. Well, for me specifically, because that's what I was asking about. But I'm guessing everybody's kind of doing the same thing. And it was like body upgrades.
Yeah.
Like body upgrades. And then now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, fuck, I've been like, I mean, a lot of tension and stuff. And it's like, I just got back from a week of vacation. Like, I definitely didn't set myself up for success this week by any means, but I shouldn't be feeling as much as I should. And I'm like, I think it's just the upgrades coming through for everybody. Because I think I've mentioned this maybe before, but big cycles of manifestation of any kind happen on a 6 to 9 month window. Mm-hmm. So it's been 6 months since approximately the solstice, since the other solstice. So it's just like all of the fucking shit that you have been working on from winter to now is going to, like, you're going to get your cash out right away. like, or start to get your cash out. So I think it's just like, and it makes perfect sense that we'd have all these crazy cosmic events, because it's like, pay attention, listen in, we're going to distract you. You have to look at this, because if you want your payout, you have to take it. And Randy, I did a channeled messages with Randy, and they were like, if you don't get your shit together, your upgrades are going to be wasted. And I was like, no, I've been waiting for these upgrades for at least 6 months. I am not fucking this one up.
Did I say that?
You did.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And she's okay. If you guys have not booked a channeled messages with Randy, you fucking have to, because there's things like, we're close, but there's things that she could never know that I've been like processing. And she just like 8 minutes in, like right at the beginning, I was like, holy fuck, this girl is literally listening to my spirit guides right now, verbatim what they're saying. And it's crazy. Because like she just randomly threw out, yeah, your upgrades are going to be wasted if you don't. And I was like, there's no way she knew that I've been talking to my spirit guides for like 6 months about these upgrades. It's like, this bitch is crazy. Like, she's like, we do it. Like, we're all like, probably all of you guys out there too are very intuitive, but I don't know. God damn it, Randy's good at this.
Well, I just say what they tell me to say.
Yeah.
You know? So it's kind of like, well, I sure as fuck hope you know what they're talking about, because I don't.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, there's one spirit guide of mine who's like, he's a tall blue guy. He looks like a tall, dark blue alien to me. Like, he just looks like that. And I did a session with her a while back, and she's like, so your spirit guide, the guy, he says that he's the tall blue guy to you, but to me, he looks like whatever. And then I was like, my jaw just dropped. I was like, that's my best friend. It's a tall blue guy.
How did you know?
I know.
Yeah.
And it was just so funny. I was like, God damn it, you're good at this.
Well, that's what he said. He's just tell her it's the tall blue guy. I'm like, fuck, okay. Whatever that means.
And it's so cool, because when I channel, it comes in like, they're like blocks of information that I have to try. Like, I think it's probably the same in some ways for you, but it's like blocks of information that I have to decipher. There's no words coming from anyone else. So I have to like sift through things and just hope that eventually my throat channel is going to open up and it's like, ta-da, you said the right thing. But like, Randy can like hear them. Like, they're speaking in words to her.
It depends on different guides. Different guides do different things.
That's true. Even in my experience, different people's spirit guides show up differently.
Yeah, like some are very like literally vocal, and some show me pictures, and then I'm like, well, what the fuck? You know, well, I'm gonna just guess, and hopefully you give me a little bit more, and you know, I'm just gonna assume if you keep giving me pictures that I interpreted that correctly, and you're giving me more to keep going. So it literally just depends. But fuck.
It's so cool. You guys have to try it.
Yeah.
But anyway, don't waste. Obviously you're coming into this like post solstice, but the portal's open for more than just like 1 second of one day. So like, just do your work, look at your shit.
Like, it's definitely building. I went outside today, you know, to go to work and stuff, and the energy out there. And again, the more you tune into this stuff, the more you're going to feel it, right? So if you're not feeling this, that's totally fine. Like, let's just get, like, it's fine if you're not. Mm-hmm. The more you're going to feel more as you go along. So, but it felt, again, very split. It was like, it felt ominous, but at the same time, like super powerful and kind of badass. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, ooh, chaos magic, you know, like, ooh, I want to kind of like play with that. Mm-hmm. And cool. I keep getting images of the graveyard. So I mean, today's Thursday. Yesterday was my aunt's birthday. My aunt, who's my spirit guide now. Remember? I don't know. If you've listened to me, you know I've talked about her. And she's very proud of herself. So, no, seriously, like, she brags to people that she's now one of my spirit guides. Like, it's like she's upgraded, right? Haha, in your face. Oh my God, she's very funny that way. But I kept getting visions of graves, like the graveyard. And I'm like, oh. And then I realized, oh, it was her birthday yesterday. I should go leave her flowers. But even, like, I've been getting visions of a graveyard for over a month.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, I don't know. Let's do this together, shall we? Graveyard, so death. But like, putting to rest things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And there's like that kind of like, I don't know, I think of death as super peaceful
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like, oh man.
It's like graduation day for
It's
me.
like the eternal nap, you know?
I know.
I finally get to rest. But I find graveyards very peaceful. I always have. I very much love graveyards.
I only like the ones with the ducks in it. Graham and I go feed them sometimes.
Oh, nice. My aunt's by the pond out at Memorial Gardens there, but I find them very peaceful.
I don't spend a lot of time in there, so no. I don't like, I'm not creeped out by graveyards, but I'm creeped out by decaying bodies. That is disgusting, and I don't want to be anywhere near that place. Gross.
But why though?
Oh, have you ever seen well, you probably have. As soon as the soul leaves a body, I want nothing to do with that. It doesn't look like them. It's a sack of meat. There's just gross. I don't even like meat as it is. Like if the thing I'm eating looks anything like the animal it was when it's alive, good luck. I'm not eating it. I just think it's gross. I don't know why. It's just ugly.
I was going to be a funeral director and embalmer. So literally, I was enrolled, and then I got the job at the station, and I ended up, going that route instead. Right. But no, I was going to be a funeral director and embalmer, and
like good for you. Like I'm not like, oh, people that do that are sick. It's just I personally know I have a weird issue with it. My whole life, if you go to a funeral's open casket, I was like, I'm not going. So like I was like the only person in the church that just stayed in their pew. I was like, no,
that's so gross. Funny. If you gave me an option between going to a wedding or going to a funeral, I will take the funeral any day. Not a chance. I'm very comfortable with the dead though.
But I feel like it's not death, it's the decaying body. Like I think like I love like yeah, I can't wait for my day to leave. Like not in an emo way, but like I'm like, when am I gonna be able to go home? Do you know what I mean? So It's not really death. It's just like the weird way that we like ominously celebrate, like dreary. I just don't like that.
I just think it's fucking cool. Like I want to visit. This is people are gonna click off here right away. They're gonna be like, "Bitch is fucked." But like I have always wanted to go visit the body farm.
What is that?
I can't remember what it is. It's basically where they go and study like how the body decays. So there's like literally like people donate their bodies and they go in the body farm where it's like a farm of just rotting corpses essentially. And like they study the bugs and they study how long like different processes take. And just, I find that shit fascinating.
I'm going to cry. It's so gross. Okay. But to like show you my death thing, it's like I don't like, this is my perfect death scenario. This is what it'd be. I would die. Someone would dig a hole in my mom's farmyard and just boot me in. Like I want to give my vessel back to the earth that supported me. I don't want to be pumped up with formaldehyde and I don't want to be put in a freezer. Can you just roll me into the earth and let's let it go?
Just give me cremation. It's my last chance for a smoking hot body. So.
That was so good. And I mean, I thought about like, obviously if that's a trend that's coming up where it's like, they're like farmlands kind of thing that get cordoned off as like a burial ground, but they don't put you through the weird rigmarole of like embalming and stuff. They just throw you in to literally give you back to the earth. So it's new. And I hope by the time I die, it'll be like the standard. But if it doesn't happen that way, I want to be cremated. But like, what a waste of my sustenance. Like, it's like the earth fed me forever. Can I just feed the earth or like a tree or something when I'm done instead of just like into the atmosphere I go? I would like to be given back, but I don't like the process. Like just roll me in, call her good. I've got a million decomposed bodies out there, like we've been reincarnating forever. Stop wasting space. Yeah. I think it's just a waste of space, I guess. Everyone should just be given back to the planet. We have to put markers on everybody. Like how many tombstones does my soul have? And I'm still here.
Yeah.
We've cut down a lot of trees. Like just no, stop it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my perspective on death. But I also like creepy, ominous things. But for some reason, my whole life, I've been terrified of skulls.
Really?
Yes. Like actual human skulls. I can't remember. What show is it?
Meanwhile, that's my jam over here.
I don't know why. Like, I like them when they're just like, like the stone skulls. I think. Yeah, I like them. They don't creep me out. But I don't know. I must have had a past life where I was like around decaying or decomposing bodies and bones because I hate all of that.
Maybe you were a grave robber.
What does that mean?
They used to rob graves.
And do what with the people?
Well, they would, because, okay. So when they were trying to learn medicine, right? Like they would go, they were called grave robbers because people would freshly die and then they would go dig up the bodies so that they could have them to like practice on and learn from.
Well, maybe.
And, you know, but you had to get them when they were fresh, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't, you know, formaldehyde or anything back in those days. So it was literally like what you got was there.
Yeah, so, I could see that.
Yeah.
Or had like a parent that did that or something and had to watch it as a kid because and it's obviously like a traumatizing thing because I think my aversion to the dead, I mean, maybe it's normal, but I still think I would be like abnormal. Like there's got to be a weird in between. I think some people are kind of just like, it's gross, but like I at least go view my grandma when she's in the viewing. I think it's the grossest thing. Like, no, I just, skulls and bones and
really? Ugh. Oh my God, I love it. I love that
stuff. But like human skulls. It's like, other than that, everything's kind of like chill, but I don't know.
I swear to God, I must have been an embalmer in a past life.
Yeah, you had to be. But also like you're totally been a witch and like they use that shit.
Oh yeah, no, they do. That's very true.
Yeah, I don't know what my PTSD is for that, but I just think it's disgusting. I just hate it. And it gives me the shivers. Like I used to watch, I forget, was it like Law and Order SVU? I don't know what it was, but they were like, when I was a kid, the skull would be on and I have to close my eyes all the time. I couldn't look at it. Weird, hey?
That is weird.
Right?
Honor that feeling.
Yeah.
What is it about it? Is it like an actual like fear or is it just like discomfort? How would you just see?
For some reason,
here we go, tying back to the emotions.
It used to just scare me. I was just so scared. I have no idea why.
Well, deep down you do though.
I don't know. Or I used to just like think it was weird that I had that in my body. I'm like, oh, I remember being like, that's in, like, this look at a skeleton and be like, oh, there's one of those in my body. But obviously that's because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why. I just remember being like so terrified of them. Like I can't look at them. It makes me scared. And I like want to cry. That's how much it scared me.
That's so funny. You know who else was like that?
Who?
H.H. Holmes.
Oh.
Who was America's first serial killer.
Uh-oh.
He built the murder castle. You want to know, you guys,
probably that was me.
Read up on H.H. Holmes because it's like I love his story. It's fucking fascinating. His real name isn't H.H. Holmes, by the way. That was his alias. But read up about him. There's like podcasts on him and stuff. Like it's
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But when he was young, like of course in those days you go to the doctor and they had a skeleton, but it was like an actual human skeleton, right? It was like the 1800s. So and like the kids in school used to know that, and they would like make him interact with the skeleton, you know, like it was just, yeah.
Interesting. I know. I want to figure out where that comes from. Stay tuned. Maybe in a later episode, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like it. But I do like creepy, ominous things, but just not the dead around me when they don't have a soul. But I like dark, twisty things, but like not the dead body.
Would you ever play things like the Midnight Game?
What is it? I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know all the rules. So, like, if I just know there's somebody out there who's going to fucking call me out on my shit right now. But, like, don't come at me. Don't come at me. I'm, like, paraphrasing. So, like, the Midnight Game is kind of like you call, I don't know, I'll call it a Shadowman because I don't really know all the rules or who you're supposed to be calling. But, like, basically, you start at midnight. And is it 4 hours you have to walk around? Like you always have to constantly be moving. And you have to, like the lights are all off and you carry a candle and you invite him to your party. But like, oh my God, I don't know. I can't really remember all the details. Anyway, but if you stop, you have to have salt and put yourself in a ring of salt and then you can't leave.
Whoa, definitely.
And then if you're, oh yeah, because you carry a candle, and if the candle goes out, that means he's by, and you have 10 seconds to light it again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I definitely did not play that game.
Would you ever, though?
I doubt it.
Really? Why?
Well, I think now I'd be better. But if you caught me a few years ago before I knew what was out there, I would be absolutely terrified of that. But now I understand the line between like good and like, or like light and dark. And it's not as scary to me. I guess I'd probably try it, but I'd have to go with like a fucking expert like you. That was like,
expert. Well, I'm like, I think this is how it works.
Well, no, not at the game, but an expert at like cleansing before you like go home.
Right.
Like I would need to be with someone who's like, let's check you, make sure you're not taking anything home with you, and then I'd be good, I think, to try it now. But I want to summon any demons I can't get rid of.
Oh my God. Like, it would be so crazy if you, me, and my friend Brad, I've talked about Brad on the podcast, you guys, like if we ever do a ghost story episode, man, he's going to have to like come on. We're going to have to tell some fucking stories because like we got shit. But like, I would play with Brad.
And I'd have to be like, I'd really want to go into it like a like this is fun thing. Because the dark, just FYI, if you ever are messing around with dark entities or you feel you have one, they thrive off of your fear, and that's why they won't leave.
Yes.
So you have to shut her down and be like they make you scared on purpose to get that energy from you. Yeah. So if you stop, like they appear scary and shadowy and dark because that's what scares the shit out of us. They're just energy like us, just eating a different fuel. So just don't give it to them. Shut her down. Don't think about it. Make it fun. Let it go. Leave. And they can't get anything from you if you don't give them anything. They'll find someone else to leech terror off of. Like,
it's true. So, but that's not to say that they won't linger and wreak havoc on your life if you don't get rid of them.
Yes, totally.
It's a crapshoot, really.
Or I would say, I guess actually this is a question I have for you. If you don't get rid of them, I don't know the protocols, but I remember like when I was in college, like university, I moved into this new place and there was this fucking thing that would like lay on top of me and just like get really heavy on my chest. And I could feel it crawling up my bed. Like it would put indents into my bed. And I was kind of not where I am right now, where I was like, am I just hallucinating? Like, what is this? And I was terrified. I would wake up scared and like, what the fuck? And then I told my friend who was like a Christian lady who was very spiritual. And she's like, you just have to tell that thing that it hasn't got shit for you. Don't get mad. Don't be scared. Just be like, there ain't nothing here for you. Get out. And I swear to fuck, I did that. And it came back like one more time. And then it kind of just left. So I didn't like get rid of it. So I feel like if you don't address it at all, like I'm actually asking. So somebody like, I think something weird's going on, but you haven't like tried to talk to it or tell it to leave or done anything. It's going to stick around and fuck with you in your space. But I feel like you just can't be ignorant. You have to like do something.
Oh yeah. And like, okay.
Acknowledge it kind of, right?
Well, then it depends. There's different kinds.
Yeah, that's true.
There's different kinds of entities, I guess we'll call them. So like, because I see them attached to people.
Whoa.
Like when I do my clearings, I've had people they have like a Shadowman attached to them. And those are a little bit like, you don't want one of them. You know? Yeah. So it's like, those are a bit much. But then there's like, I call them the little lurkers, and they're like little annoying little demon things who are just like that's what brings all the negativity and shit into your life. And that's what, I mean, it keeps you feeding into that.
Right. But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yes. You had a low enough vibe at some point to attract that thing. These. So when she says they're the things that ruin your life, you started it.
Absolutely.
You're not the victim here. You started it.
Yeah. Because they're attracted to that.
Yes.
That's not like, and I mean, it could have been innocent enough. Like you were having a bad day, you were frustrated, and you were like, and you were out in the public, and then, you know.
Probably me today.
Or me anytime I have to go to Walmart.
Oh, funny.
But same thing. Like they just attach. But then there's things that are attached to houses and locations, and those are sometimes a little bit different. So like, again, it's different types of energy.
It's true.
And different levels can do different things.
That makes sense.
You know?
Yeah.
So some do physical stuff. Some mess with your head. Like those. That
was the one I had like over the winter. Like I wonder how long I had that attachment, or how long I've had that attachment for, because I was like, I'm doing good. And I was like, wonder what it'd be like if I didn't live anymore, like in winter. And I was like, oh, I would never think that. Like, ooh, this isn't good.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I mean. Like those ones I think those are the most dangerous. Yes, like there's like poltergeists and shit that can like move stuff and throw them at you and scare the shit out of you and like actually physically hurt you.
And
if it goes that far.
Sometimes it feels like not all poltergeists, but like when I think about a poltergeist, it seems like they're definitely frustrated souls, but I feel like they're also, it's almost like it's not funny if you're living it, but it's like they're just such assholes. And they're like, I hate this fucking person. I'm going to make their day miserable. And then they just like throw a shampoo bottle. And it's like, really? That's all you got? Like,
but I think like, well, they can get kind of.
And it's not all. I'm just thinking of like ones that maybe aren't as harmful as others.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just what happens when it's just blind hate.
Yes.
Like, that's what we've manifested. Think about that. Like, there is sheer hate. Like, our souls are nothing but pure love.
Oof,
that's what we're made of. We've evolved to that level where our souls turn black and evil and there's nothing but hate left in them. And that's what it turns into.
Fucking scary.
It is fucking scary. So as you can see, talking about entities, this is another reason why it's so important to realize what your feelings are and to honor them. Because if you're not recognizing, if you're compartmentalizing, if you're shoving things down, if you're ignoring, if you're bypassing, as Kayla likes to say, you are missing out on shit, right? So that just shows how out of touch with yourself that you are.
Yeah.
Because if you don't realize you're slipping, you can't rely on other people.
Exactly.
Like I know that we're like, oh, I'm sure somebody would say something to me, but at the same time, everyone's going, oh, I don't know, she seems different, but maybe it's just a phase. Like, It's none of my business, which is true. Don't rely on anybody. You are your business and nobody else's.
Yes. And this just reminds me of like the mask we talked about that I was wearing that's like anger from my hurt. And it just reminds me, like I was thinking about these really super hateful people that I know and like looking at how they got there. It's like they were ignoring the root of the issue and then being angry all the time and not knowing how to like backtrack and process through that. So then they just turn to, I need to channel my hurt and my frustration somewhere. So I hate anyone who is in a lower class than me. I hate anyone who's in a higher class than me. I hate everyone who's a different color or different religious or different ethnic background.
I hate anyone who looks the way I think that I should look.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about like old racist men is like the epitome of what I've looked at. And I'm just like, oh, you got there from never feeling your feelings. And then it got so out of control that you couldn't even claim that as your own anymore.
Yeah. And
then you just, I hate you, it's your fault. I fucking hate you, it's your fault. And it's like, whoa, like, whew, it seems like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I'd never get like that. But like, those people.
It's a slippery slope. Here's the thing, when you get in that rut or that loop, it's easy.
Oh.
And it sounds horrible, but it can be fun there.
Yes.
Like, it's fun to sit and be like, oh yeah, look at so-and-so and fuck them and this, that, and the other thing. And yeah, well, fuck it. It fucking sucks. Meanwhile, I'm going to try and like sit on this little pedestal that I put myself because I feel like I'm not worthy of anything. And it's very easy to stay there.
That was my neck. I don't know if you guys heard that.
It was like more ASMR from Kayla.
Yeah. It's so true. It is easy to get there. And like and all it takes is one like wrench in the spokes. Like honestly, I was talking to someone earlier today and it's like we were talking about how some of the hard things in her life have derailed her from her journey. And she's not bitter by any means. She's actually a very sweet, amazing person. But it was just looking at how it takes one bad event to stop you from all the progress you've made forward. And if you want to sit there and get bitter instead of getting better, you're gonna end up in those kind of scenarios. And like I could easily see how that could happen even to me. Like, you know,
I was there.
Yeah, really.
I was there for a good 5 years.
And when was this? Like
before my breakdown.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Probably the last 5 years before my breakdown. And it's so funny because you don't realize how bitter and how negative and how hateful you are and how unhappy you are because you convince yourself that it's everybody else's issue, right? And because you're so disconnected from yourself. See, that I think that was the problem. I disconnected from everyone and everything, including myself. Right? Because, I mean, let's be honest. That's the first thing that goes is you disconnect from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're busy being whoever you need to for everybody else, which is exhausting. So where was I going with this? Anyway, yeah. And it's funny because then I had a breakdown, was like incoherent for 2 years, coming back, completely different person. And I see people from like, I call it my old life. And you know what I hear the most is, oh my God, you're so happy. You look so good. You look so happy.
That is crazy. I actually seen some of from my past life coworkers earlier this week, and constantly every time I see them after not seeing them, like, you look so different. You look so happy. Like, and it's like, yeah, because I'm myself now. And and the worst part about being somewhere that you don't want to be and disconnecting from yourself and like what you really want is for me, I was blaming other people. Like I was so much like, not that it's other people's fault, but I was kind of like looking at people that were happy or did have what they want. And I was like, oh, their life was just really easy. Or somebody gave them that, because you can't just get there. Life's really hard. You have to do this. This is how it is. And like, I remember recognizing that was really, made me really unhappy. I was like, man, I shouldn't be like trying to make excuses why I'm not happy and other people are. And I just thought, I was like, oh, but how do you get out? How do you get out? How do you stop it? And I was like, thank God I got slapped in the face by my spirit guides. Otherwise, God, I'd still be doing that.
Yep.
And you can see how I was 25, 27 years old when I was thinking these things. And it's like, you can see if you just continue to do that for 30 years, that you're a crotchety old person who hates everyone at the end. Like, I still imagine maybe that'll be me, but hopefully not because of anger. I'm not going to be crotchety, but
we'll fix you by then.
I'm kind of looking forward to being an old person who like doesn't give a fuck about anything. But it's like, can I just not give a fuck about anything right now? That'd be cool.
Well, again,
in a healthy way.
I was going to say, pendulum people. Pendulum. You just know they're going to get annoyed from, like, I'm sure a lot of people are sitting there going, oh, here's that fucking pendulum again.
Well, I sometimes use that now. I'm like, I don't know if I use the word pendulum, but I'm just like, that's the best way to describe it. You want to hit the middle ground. Like, you don't want to be like way over here or way over there. It's like,
yeah. Or I'll sometimes refer to it as the over under. You don't want to be overly like, fuck everybody, but you don't want to be under of, oh, I care what everybody thinks.
Yes.
You know, so you can think of it as a pendulum, because I just think that's a prettier image.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But over under, same thing.
Yeah, I guess I've used the example of like, I don't know if this will land with anyone, but like magnets or like protons and electrons. It's like, we always think we want to be really positively charged and really happy. And it's like, no, not even magnets want to be positively charged. Not even like atoms or electrons or molecules.
They push each other away.
Yeah.
It's like,
they don't want to, they just want to balance. And it's like, we just want to hit that perfect equilibrium. We don't want to be positive. We don't want to be negative. We just want to be balanced.
Neutral.
Like literally everything else in nature.
Exactly.
We are not an anomaly. We are still at least connected to nature.
Yes. Exactly. Just like everything else, we are energy. So, yeah. I just had this visual of like, you know how sometimes you get up in the morning and you go to work or wherever, and there's that one person who's like overly cheerful, and you're like, I'm gonna cut you.
That's me at my job, my past job, for sure.
Fuck off.
Like the I'm gonna cut you person. That was me.
You have no business being like that right now.
Oh, yeah. And I was one of those people, like, don't fucking talk to me until I've drinking this soup bowl full of coffee, because otherwise I am just not interested. Oh, I was so miserable.
Me too.
And sometimes now, like, because it was so long ago.
I think now I'd be like the happy person. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'd probably do it on purpose.
I'm still kind of like introverted. I'm not like super, like, I don't want to talk to people sometimes still, but I was so miserable. And sometimes it's been like so much time has elapsed now since that moment that like I forget what to tell my clients to like give them examples of like how much it changes. I'm like 90% sure that when you clear your Akashic record, things change. But it's been so long ago now that I'm like, did it really change? But it did. It's very significant. And people continually say that. But it's like, I'm glad I'm slowly forgetting that. I don't want to forget it because it's like really great for like baseline examples of how things change. But
yeah. Well, that's when I work with my clients. What are the questions? And see, maybe I'll have a webinar on like where people can just come and ask questions. But it's so annoying because it's like, I don't know what to say because people are like, well, like, what do I do in a session? Well, that depends. It depends on what you want. Where are you? What is your goals? Why did you come to see me? What is it that you're missing? You know, so it's like, basically, I'm going to answer the question now in case it comes up again. This is, we talk about you, baby. Like we need to figure out, okay, do you know where your blocks are? Because then we can just kind of like limit down a belief that's holding you back and work on busting that and integrating it and embodying it, right? Because those are the big things. Or it's like, I don't have any fucking idea where I'm going wrong here. Or if you go, what's an ego? Buy a package. We have a long, you know, like, yeah. But I mean, that means like we're starting from scratch. And you know what? That's sometimes easier, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're starting from scratch and it's like, okay, let's figure it out. So that's what I do. We figure it out. We talk about things and we dive deep. Mm-hmm. And when I say we, I mean you know, you're going to get out of it what you put in. Mm-hmm. But it's like, are you ready to look at you? Like we're talking all of you.
Yeah.
And, you know, working through it.
I know. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I need to book my next counseling appointment, like consciousness coaching with Randy. But I was like, man, I just don't know if I'm ready. Like, it is fucking deep, and just take the whole day off. You're going to need to. Like, fuck.
But the exponential healing comes from it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And accelerated.
Yeah.
You know?
We had figured out what the issue was within the first, like, fucking 10 minutes, maybe less.
Which doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, but
it was so quick and like things I had never thought of before. And I can read my own Akashic record and do my own clearing. And I still missed a couple of things. And probably lots of things. And I was just like, fuck, like I didn't even know I needed to look at that. So that was like the biggest thing was like, I didn't know that was a problem really, to know that I have to like dig in that sandbox, not the fucking sandbox I've raked through 10 million times. It's in a different park and I've never been there. So it was just like, it's really enlightening information. And the craziest part is like you, the client, do 90% of the talking. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how the fuck did this just happen? It's awesome. You should try it.
It's liberating.
Yeah.
But I hate to call it therapy because it's kind of like that, but it isn't. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're learning how. It's kind of like you're just remembering who you are, really, mm-hmm. and you're sifting through your own conditioning and your own beliefs and your own perceptions. That's really, in a nutshell, what we do. Mm-hmm. It's you find you. Mm-hmm. That's why my website's called Authentic Truth. Say it with me, kids. Within. So everything, you know it all. It's already in you. It's just a matter of digging through the backpack of crap and unpacking some shit.
Oh God. Fucking backpack. It's never ending. You're like, my backpack's empty, and then there's like a compartment you didn't know, and you're like, fuck, the bottom comes out.
Oh, look, here's another pocket.
It's like, fuck.
And it goes on forever. What?
I know. God.
But that's okay. I feel like we went on a tangent.
We do that. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know like where the fuck we're going. But I guess like we say it all the time. But obviously feeling your emotions, not judging them. Like we've talked, like that's sometimes like therapy 101, right? But it's like, are you really doing it though? Are you really taking the time and grounding in and like assessing? Because that's the part that's hard. And I'm guilty of it myself. Like I, again, can read these things on paper and then execution is really low sometimes. And it's like, you gotta just do the work. Like, fuck, I'm watching it backfire in my face right now. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
but your ego can also like, if you're not present, if you're not really paying attention, your ego plays tricks on you. And it's like, your ego self slips in and it's like, look at all this healing you did. Look how much you've realized. Go you, go you. And you're like, yeah, go me. I've healed that. But really, it's a distraction again.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know we have a lot of people listening that are parents or looking to shift work. So going from the soul-sucking job into, you know, your career, like your real soul career and doing all these things. And it gets fucking busy and fucking messy. And I know what it's like to just be like, can we stop dissecting now? Can we just go and like get the show on the fucking road here? But like as someone who's personally had the show on the road for a while here and like made the mistakes early on where I was too busy or too distracted or letting that ego creep back in and fuck everything up, it's like if I would have just taken the time back then, maybe we would be at a new like plateau of like, you know, self-sustenance. But it's literally like torturing yourself willingly by not dealing with it. And it's just like, just stop. If you're anything like me, stop wearing your fucking busyness like a badge of honor, as Randy channeled to me. Like, it's not fucking awesome.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's not fucking a good time to drown. And you can only keep your head just above water before it swallows you whole. So like, just fucking do it.
And you know what? Give yourself time. Don't be in a rush. As much as I'd like to say this happens overnight, sure, epiphanies can happen overnight, but to integrate them takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes discipline. And it takes practice. And just allow yourself that time.
Yeah.
And it's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to be like, are you fucking kidding me? This lesson again?
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking like slash somebody, you know?
Yes.
Allow yourself to feel that.
I know. I was going to say, like, again, don't take all my fucking advice today, because the thing that I'm just literally this week pulling up, like working with, is why am I so mad at myself for being mad? Why am I so mad at myself for still trying to figure this out? Why am I so frustrated that everything's not perfect? That fucking shit doesn't exist, you guys. So like, you gotta just, nothing's really good or bad. It just is. It just is. And like being conscious about it. Like I feel we talk about this all the time, but like just be aware, because you don't want freaking Shadowman riding your back at the end of the day.
Yeah, no shit. But it's just a matter of being present. And then being present to being present.
And having like actual legitimate meaningful self-care. Not like, oh, self-care is meditating for 10 minutes, but I'm just doing it because I've heard it's self-care. You know, like, I mean, I'm guilty.
I'm going to have a bubble bath with wine because, you know, that's pampering myself.
Yes. Or like, you know, I have on Fitbit and I have like a Bella Beat thing or whatever. And it's like, your stress is really susceptible. You should meditate for 10 minutes. And it's like, I used to just like do a 10-minute meditation just to like check that box. That's not fucking self-care, you guys. Yeah. That's adding another priority to the list that just is something that's not actually rejuvenating. So actually assess your self-care.
That would be an ego trap, as we like to say.
Yeah. Or a fucking bypass. Check the box. Yeah, I did it. But did you do it though? Like you didn't.
No, you did it because you thought it looked good.
Oh, God. Or
it's like, look at my self-care box. It's tick, 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 but it did fuck all for me.
And like, shit, there's a lot of people that do that.
Yes.
A lot of people that do that.
A lot. And self-care, you guys, I mean, if it is a facial and a bubble bath and a, you know, meditating for 10 minutes works for you and you're feeling refreshed, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if your self-care is half an hour of Netflix and a bowl of ice cream, do that.
Exactly. I was going to say self-care is so subjective. It's just like what actually fills your cup up and like what actually are you like at the end of it, that release, right? Yeah, that was nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is it? Just
my self-care is I have to turn my brain off for a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Yesterday, after that, and the storm, let's be honest, the storm fucked with my brain, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like all over the place. But I was trying to, you know, make this, I don't know, advertisement, whatever you want to call it, for social media for my course that I'm putting on. It took me hours because I just couldn't, but I was pushing myself because I'm like, this needs to be up. Mm-hmm. People need to know about this. And so I was like pushing myself way too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately it backfired because it took me like all day. I should have just walked away for like an hour, turned my brain off and went back to it. But no, lesson learned.
Oh, God. And like that just like makes me think, and like me, I don't know if it'll tie in, but even as practitioners like Randy and I, and then you guys out there, like don't let clients or self-employed activities like take over your life, because I obviously was fucking angry yesterday and my power was out. So I ended up having to reschedule a few appointments and whatever, but I felt really guilty about it. And my other alternative though would have been to show up for those appointments and probably just, they wouldn't even get the quality healing like that would have normally happened, because I was just pushing the schedule, pushing my expectations, and I wasn't honoring that I was like screaming inside and shouldn't be doing that. And I don't like, I'm sure there's more people out there that do this, but you're not good to anybody if you don't listen and honor yourself. Like, yeah, you're going to be really good at healing your client today when you're a fucking disaster. Like, just take it. And I mean, it's like, just take the time, but also if you are a client out there to someone else, give people space. And no one has ever said anything to me when I have to reroute it. And actually yesterday was divine because all the people I rescheduled were like sick or had to deal with something anyway. So it was like perfect. But we have to switch and shift the expectations of our society because it's designed to be soul crushing.
Yes, it really is.
And if we, the light workers or the healers or whatever you want to call yourself, the volunteers, the star seeds, the practitioners of energy, like
or just a soul being.
Yeah. Or yeah, literally just a beautiful person. If we don't make that change or we don't sustain that change, like who the fuck will? Like, that's why most of us are here, is to like be a different way or be a frequency enhancer or be whatever. Like, I know that's the kind of people that listen to this, and it's like, you have to set the pace, you know, like we have to set the pace. And I see it more and more. Like, it's just, we're trying to move into this new earth and this new way of being, but we are so stubborn to let go of these like old ways. And like, I'm guilty of it 100%. And I'm like, man, if I don't reform this system, who the fuck is going to? Like, my family thought I was crazy doing like my energy healing full time. Like, oh yeah, my family too.
I come from a long line of like work. You do a pension, you know, like very structured, you do this and you don't question. So, and you get a pension and you work and then, you know, you die kind of thing. But so they're like, oh, it's probably going to be your reflexology. That's going to be your main money maker. So it's a good thing you have something a little bit more mainstream. The majority of my clients are all my energy healing and my coaching.
Exactly.
Like I think it's actually good that my dad can see this, because he thought I was going to fall flat on my face. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Who would pay for that? He says.
Oh, fuck.
You know,
many people.
Well, I mean, healing, and I think this got lost in translation over the years, and I think it was on purpose, right? I think it was subverted to be this way. It's mind, body, and soul. When those three are in working order, then you're healthy, not just your body.
Yep.
You know?
100%.
So we have your body and we have your mind, but where's the soul part? That's what's been missing this whole time. But when you put the three together, again, there's that pyramid, there's that solid base with the point up, right?
And I always, in my manifest sessions, that's what I say, is like, you're not going to get anything you want in this life if all three pieces of you, mind, body, and soul, aren't on the same fucking page. You're a hot mess. And that's exactly what people are kind of skipping out on with their healing. It's like, you're dealing with your physical body, you're dealing with your mental health, but like, have you bothered to listen to, and I think maybe Randy, you see this slightly differently, but I believe that some of our feelings, especially the ones that are like screaming at us, as our soul trying to talk to us.
Absolutely.
Like I'm fucking drunk, because I know there's like the ego can throw in a couple of, they try to like incognito.
It's like
feelings.
you don't hear anything.
yeah. So the soul is screaming at you, but we for some reason that's the first thing we abandon, is what we're really feeling though. And we're not listening to it. And we're still going to that job. We're still taking those appointments. We're still doing this. And it's like,
because we let expectation rule our life.
Exactly.
And if you guys haven't listened to our fuck expectation episode, head her back and listen to that one, because it ties in. But we live our life for expectation. We don't live it for ourselves, like who we are.
Yeah. And every time I've ever had to cancel or reschedule an appointment, people have been ridiculously understanding. And it's like, I've created this monster in my head. I got to be here. I got to do this, even if I'm having the worst day, even if I'm sick. And it's like, no, we don't have to do that anymore. People get it. And if someone doesn't get it, it's like, are you really going to get what you need out of this session anyway right now if you don't have that space to hold for someone? But, oh, God. So complicated, so complex.
It is. But you know what? That's okay. Because we're humans. Right? Well, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, but it's the human experience part.
No doubt.
Oh, Lordy.
So moral of the story is, it always seems to be the same moral of the story, but just, you got to just reconnect to get yourself where you want to go. And I mean, you can make it difficult and convoluted if you want to, but you're only delaying your success or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So
you're only hurting yourself.
Exactly. So stop fighting it. You are the people in your community and your families that are paving a new way. Let's just be real here. So it's scary, it's uncomfortable, but you have to take that time to feel what needs to be felt, and like just release judgment and expectation, because you got work to do, you got things to do for friends, family, and community, and it's just not going to work if you can keep on keeping on with what's up.
Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Exactly.
Maybe that should be the title. Nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cliche for a reason, folks.
Exactly.
But yes, so just, you got to open your heart in order to follow your heart. Like, let's remember that. We are so taught that, you need to be strong. So we shove those feelings away and compartmentalize them. But that does nobody any good. And you can't connect with yourself if you're completely closed down to yourself. So that's a nice reminder for you today. So your challenge for the week, my friends, your homework. I feel like you're all my clients. So your homework this week. No, your homework is just, you know what? Connect with you in whichever way works for you best.
Yeah.
Maybe you like to journal. Maybe you just like to sit outside under a tree and just, chill.
Yes. Figure out what that looks like to you. And fucking dare each and every one of you, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, I just can't fucking do this today, call in, cancel,
Don't do it
reroute.
today.
Just do it. See what happens when you just
honor yourself.
Honor that feeling, because it is the best.
And there's a difference between like, I just don't feel like going to work today. I'm going to take a quote unquote mental health day, wink, wink. Or the times when you actually are just like, I'm going to fucking, I don't even know what, but something's going to happen if I don't, there's a difference. So, we're not allowing your ego permission to be like, again, that's exactly. That fake self-care stuff, sneaky. I'm so guilty of that though. Like, I'm so bad. Yeah. I'm getting better, but you know what we're saying.
Exactly. But I challenge you, see what happens. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's actually probably going to get you somewhere greater, because again, you're putting the mind, body, and spirit together. And that's seriously where it all comes together.
100%. All right, you guys, I swear to God, this is our longest podcast yet. So
I feel winded after this really long
one. I know. It's like, oh man, what has it been? Like an hour and a half or something ridiculous? But we hope you've enjoyed it. You guys, interact with us. Talk to us on social media. Talk to us through email. Drop us Instagram messages, whatever.
Yeah. Let us know what's going on, because we can use some of these examples and stories to jump off in next episodes. And who doesn't want to hear about themselves on the podcast or their story?
Oh, totally.
It's exciting.
It is. Or, join us on Patreon, because we interact a lot on there. Oh, it's almost time for another monthly meetup. We're going to have to schedule that.
Yes.
Yeah. So we Zoom with everybody and we chill and it's super fun. But anyway, so you guys, we'll leave it here. Moral of the story, honor yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yourself. Okay. All right. For real. So we'll talk to you very soon on our next podcast. Bye-bye now.
Bye. Actually, before we officially sign off, we have some brand new Patreon members in our group.
Woohoo!
I know. I'm so excited because Natalie's there, and Natalie's a good time. She's fun. Every time we do a session together, I'm just want to be her friend, but unfortunately she lives in Ontario, so we're glad you're here. Connect on Patreon, on Zoom.
Yay, Natalie! Woo! We also have Christy from BC, right?
Yes.
Hey, Christy. She was actually, you guys were so bad. She's been with us for a while. We just keep forgetting to shout it out.
Yeah.
She even did our 2-cup manifestation with us. Yes. So she's been around for a while. So
yes.
Yeah, Christy and
Crystal. And she is from right here. Well, PA and Saskatoon. She's been both places. So. Here-ish from our local community. So that's awesome too.
Yeah, Crystal. What? Welcome to Patreon. So yeah, we're having a blast with them. If you guys want to join our little Patreon community, we're growing over there. We're having some good time.
It's all these good time women there right now. It's just good vibes. Good vibes all around.
And make sure you guys check out our bonus episodes, because good old abundant bitches over on Patreon get a bonus episode every month. And it's a good time.
Yeah, because it's really just Randy and I shooting the shit about our actual lives, and it's a good time.
Oh yeah. It's
even more off the cuff and
laid back
than even this
and one. Entertaining as fuck.
Yeah, last one was about our hall passes.
Among other things.
Yeah, hall pass. Who would your hall pass be?
Shout out if you've seen Animal Kingdom and you'll know who we're talking about. But anyway, okay, for reals though. We're gonna go 100% for reals now. Yep. Okay.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.